it to your loved ones, send it to your enemy. I think that this topic is a topic that is, very, very diverse. It is a topic that everyone, regardless of religion, it transcends gender, it transcends everything. So this is a topic that you don't want to miss. And I'm so happy that we will be talking about it live. We spoke about it before a couple of weeks ago with a wonderful young woman. And, I thought to myself, I said, it's good to see a woman's perspective on vision and purpose. Yes, it's awesome, but it's also important to hear it from a man, right? Because sometimes what we think, women will say is probably different from what a man will say. And I love, my passion is for men, young men and women who are in ministry, who are, living their purpose, fulfilling their vision, just to come on the show and talk about what it means when we talk about purpose and vision. So I searched all over the place and I came across this wonderful, amazing man that I want to, to bring on the show today to help us talk about vision and purpose. He is a man of many talents. He's a wonderful man of God, a minister. I've known him for a couple of months, and I am just so honored that our path has crossed. And today I want him to, share this platform with me as we have this dialogue, this discussion about vision and purpose. So without any further delay, right? Without any further delay. And yes, I want to give a shout out to London Prayer Marathon because it was on that platform that I met this wonderful young gentleman. So without any further delay, please welcome Mr. Emmanuel Ayikun. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing today, Pastor Anita?
I am doing wonderful. Good to see you. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling definitely. I'm really excited, and definitely humbled by the opportunity in order just to be here today, just to share the Lord has given me and to learn as well. So thank you so much for having me on here.
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, glad that you've accepted our invitation. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, what you're about?
Most definitely, man. Let's see if I can put it all in one word. So, my name is Emmanuel Ayikun, and the one thing that I'm definitely passionate about when it comes to life, people to discover what God has created them to become. Currently right now I work at Louisiana State University as a resident. I work at Louisiana State University as a resident assistant, and during my position here and things of that nature, I'm a supervisor, but I see myself as a servant leader. I went to Eastern Illinois University where I graduated with my bachelor's in public relation, and I got my master's in student affairs. And then in 2017, I received my master's in divinity. And by God's grace, this coming fall, working on my third master's in leadership and human development and things of that nature. So it started off like just trying to really figure out where I fit in. And by God's grace, I'm realizing that life is a journey of making sense that is in our lives and around us, but we do that through the grace of God. So that's just a little bit about me and things like that. And I'm just honored today.
Wow, that is amazing. You actually mentioned certain things about you that I did not know. You're going for your third
Oh,
master's?
oh yes, please.
Wow, wow. I'm always it's awesome when you see young men and women just excelling in their education. And because for me, I believe there is no limits, right? So if you know who
Hmm.
you are and what God has called you to be, there's no need to settle. So this is oh my
Exactly.
goodness. Wow, this
Yes,
is
please.
awesome. And I just can't wait to see where God is taking you. So that's awesome. So let's go straight into the discussion for today. We're talking about, what do you see? Vision and purpose. When it
Exactly.
comes to vision, the scripture that I like the most is in Romans, no, actually purpose. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And it says, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose, right? According to
Exactly.
his purpose. And now
Man.
Proverbs 29, verse 18 says, where there is no vision, the
Uh-huh.
people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So where there is no vision, the people perish. Now we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about vision and purpose. I know a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people that use vision and purpose simultaneously. I know there are people that, they're kind of confused what vision and purpose is. So let's talk about it. Is there a difference between vision and purpose? And if so, what are the difference?
All right. If there is one thing that I'll say that vision is the end goal, and purpose is the process that you go through in order to get to the end goal. Because the thing is that purpose is not something that you wake up and you realize this is what I've been created to do. But purpose is something that as you move from one step to another step in your life, in this journey that we call life and things of that nature, you get to the place where you begin to understand the different asset, the different things that you like and the different that you don't like, the things that interest you and the things that do not interest you, the environments where you grow and the environments where you feel like you are dying and things like that. So if there's anything that I can say when it comes to vision is knowing, having the end in mind and knowing exactly to go. So, in order to explain this, I used the story from Alice in Wonderland. So, one day there was this young girl, and she was walking down the road, and she came to two crossroads, and she did not know whether to go to the right or whether she should take the left-hand road, right? So, she asked that was in the tree, and she said that, hey cat, like which road do I take? So the cat asked her, where are you trying to go? And the young lady said that she doesn't know. So guess what the cat told her? The cat said it doesn't matter because you don't know what the end goal is. You take the right hand or whether you take the left hand. If you don't know what kind of house you want, if you don't know what kind of man or woman that you want to be married to, if you don't know what kind of what kind of life that you want to have at the end of it, that nature, the truth of the matter is that you go through life just making any kind of decision and treating life as a game. So vision is being able to see the end. Purpose is the process of going from one place to another, from point A to point B. So that's why they say that at the end of your life, when you get to your gravestone, things of that nature, the dash between it as purpose is the becoming of oneself, the understanding of who I am and how I fit into this puzzle of life.
That's very interesting. That's wonderful. So basically what you said is that vision is it's the goal, and purpose is the process. And the interesting thing about it is that a lot of people don't want to go through the process, right? They have a vision, they want to get to a certain place, but how to get there? For me, I feel like, you may have an idea of where you want to go, but if you don't go through the process, how are you going to get to the place where you need to go? So definitely, I think that they both go hand in hand. And the other question is, I know a lot of people have a vision, right? And sometimes the vision can be God made or man made, in a sense of sometimes we have visions and, we don't even like ask God about the vision. It's all about this is what I want, this is what I want. But we all understand when we read the book of Romans that all things work together, right? For those who are called and according to God's purpose. So there is a purpose. God has a purpose for everyone. Now, the question, Minister Emmanuel, is understanding that God has a purpose for everyone. I believe whether you're a Christian or a non Christian, God has a purpose for everyone. So the question is, how do you discover this purpose that we are talking about? How do you discover that purpose?
Most definitely, most definitely. And if anything, that's definitely a great question. And I think that question itself, um, so in order to answer that question, we have to look at what purpose is, right? You look at Webster's dictionary and you're trying to figure out what does purpose is. Purpose is defined as the reason why something is created. Right? And in order for something to be created, there first has to be a problem, right? So if there is a problem, then that means that the creator created that thing or created the iPhone to solve a created a pair of scissors to solve a specific problem. Because even though you may use a pair of scissors to put on bread, that is not what the scissors was created to do. The scissors was created to do what? To cut paper. And so when we look at the concept of what purpose is, purpose being defined as the reason why something is created. So in order to find purpose, you have to go back to you? No, because, and the thing is that that's the reason why when it comes to discovering purpose, the first thing that has to take place is humility. One has to be able to say within themselves is that I truly don't know what it is that I have been created to do. That is the reason why the Bible says that humble yourself before the Lord and he will lift you up. So the thing is that if you go through this life thinking that you know the direction that you want to go to, thinking that you know the person that you want to marry, thinking that you know the creator that you want to go into. The thing is that the heart of a man is very deceitful. Sometimes we are moved to do certain things or enter into certain spectrums because of how enticing it looks into our to our eyes. So in order to discover purpose, a person must humble themselves and go back to their creator. And that's the question that is for our viewers that are listening today. You have to ask yourself, who is your creator? Because purpose is yes within you and things of that nature. But in order for you to discover to know what it has been created to do, Steve Jobs came up with the idea, and what did he do? He created a manual that specifically tells you how to use the iPhone and all the different assets that the iPhone has in order for you to any problem that you may have. So if the iPhone gets to the place, let's say using this non-living thing, if the iPhone gets to the place where it's like, man, like what was I created to do? It doesn't come to me, even though I'm the person that is human. I'm not the person that created it, and I don't know all the different apps, all the different capabilities. Even to this day, I'm still learning all that I can do with the iPhone. So if the iPhone gets to the place where it's not sure what to do, if you as a human being get to the place where you're not do, me personally, I don't go to my mom, I don't go to my dad, I don't go to close friends of mine. I go back to God because I define God, Jesus Christ, as my creator. And because I define him as I get to the place where I ask him, Lord, what problem did you create me to fix? And that's the thing about purpose. Purpose is what problem have you been created to fix? And this problem is not something that is on a large spectrum, right? Because a lot of times I want to make a difference in the world. When you think about the world entirely is too big for me to make a difference in. But I promise you, if you make a difference in one person's life, you have entered into the arena of their lives and the people that and you have impacted their world. So just to answer your question in short, in order to discover your purpose, a person has to, one, humble themselves, but two, they have to ask themselves, who is my creator? Who do I define as my creator? Because just as you go to this person that you define as your creator and things of that nature, it gets to the place, honestly, as you're going through the process, trying to become who your creator says you should be, it gets to the place where you don't feel like it. It's not every day I feel like a life coach. It's not every day that I feel like I'm capable to make change in my life or make change in the people. So I go back to my manufacturer and I tell God, like, God, I don't feel like this. And he tells me, like, even though you feel like this, let me remind you of who you are. And that's how you discover your purpose, discovering who is it that created you.
Who is it that created you? Who is your maker? Who
Mm-hmm.
is your creator? Wow, we're gonna go back to it. So I'm just going to read a couple of comments. Please make sure you send your questions. If you have any questions, contributions, my viewers, please feel free to comment so that we can read it. So Evangelist Duama says awesome. And then Lady Renee said, what problem was I created to solve? Make sure you share the link because this is deep. This is deep. So thank you so much, Minister Emmanuel, for sharing. And when it comes to talking about who is your creator, who is your maker. And I like that analogy you used. And I also want to talk about the fact that, when it comes to cars, so we have a Toyota, right? And there was one time where our Toyota was messing up, and we took it to. I said, "Oh, okay. There's a dealership right here, and they sell all parts, right? All different types of car parts. So let's just go there, and they can. Because I just wanted the quick way out, right? Because driving
Mm-hmm.
to a Toyota dealership was kind of like far from my house. So I was like, oh, okay. There's a car shop here. Let me go there. And when I went there and
Mm-hmm.
that they diagnosed the problem, they said, well, this is your problem, but unfortunately, we don't have the solution for this problem. You have to
Right.
take it to a Toyota dealership, right?
Exactly.
So that they
Exactly.
can give you the exact thing that you need, because we can give you something, but it's not going to last. My God.
There it is.
We can give you
Literally.